is 4:30 on your Wednesday morning, and we're following some breaking news. The search for Jacob Barber is now over. Just into the KFOR newsroom, we're getting a first look at Barber's mugshot. You might recall he's accused of killing his father, Glenn, at their Moore home on Sunday. Late last night, police say the car belonging to Glenn was found abandoned in Denton. Barber was arrested in Roanoke, Texas, and booked into the Denton County Jail. We'll, of course, continue to update you throughout the morning as we learn more. And now let's get to Damian Lotus, switching gears for a check out our forecast. Pretty cool out there this morning.
Yeah, it's pretty nice out there. We're this close to tying a record low temperature here for Oklahoma City, and some parts of the metro are in the 50s. Just to put this in context, this kind of weather, if we were in February, we'd be in the single digits right now. That's just to show you just how cool we're starting out there. As of right now, the low temperature at Will Rogers World Airport has been 63 degrees, which is where they're at right now. Now, the dew point's in the 50s, so we can still dip 1 or 2 more degrees here before the sun comes up. So we're going to continue to track this here as we head throughout the morning. And there it is right there, Will Rogers World Airport, 63 degrees. The dew point's at 56, so we still have a couple degrees to go here before the sun comes up here in about 2 hours. So we'll continue to track this here for you. Temperatures across the rest of central Oklahoma, 50 degrees right now in El Reno. I would not be surprised if they dip into the 40s here to start. That is jacket weather here to start off in mid-July. This is pretty interesting weather here we're going to see as we head into this afternoon. Speaking of this afternoon, here's your hour-by-hour planner here to get you out the door and prepared for the day. We'll see plenty of sunshine. We'll see temperatures today making it into the mid-80s, so another warm, not hot day. Tracking an air quality alert here for today, Jess. But coming up, we're going to talk about how warm we're going to rebound and also an early look at that weekend forecast.
All right, Damian, thank you. We're following some more breaking news this morning. Police investigating a shooting near Southeast 44th and I-35. They say one person was shot in the parking lot of a Motel 6 in that area. The victim taken to the hospital. Right now, they have not released a suspect description. Also this morning, a man claiming to be Jesus Christ now facing several felony charges. It all stems from a wild crash in Bethany earlier this month. Police say the driver was high on drugs and had a revoked license. News 4's Peyton Yeager has been looking over those charges and has the update.
Yeah, what in the world?
What in the world is right?
Looks like a tornado hit down there.
It's a breaking news story we brought you July 11th. An SUV flying down Northwest 39th in Bethany, hitting triple digits before flipping several times, uprooting trees and taking out a light pole just across the street from the Southern Nazarene University campus.
It was crazy.
This week, felony charges seal the fate of the man behind the wheel, Anthony Wallace.
And we looked to the right and saw a massive wreck.
Frightened witnesses rushing outside to see shoes and clothes scattered. The SUV, a mangled mess.
He wasn't moving and his eyes were open, so we just kind of assumed he was dead.
But according to police, Wallace was very much alive. Newly released court documents reveal he began swinging his fists at officers while growling, saying multiple times he was Jesus Christ and he didn't have to comply. Wallace was so uncooperative, police say they were forced to tase him before he was taken to a hospital.
Oh my God.
While being treated for his injuries, Wallace was allegedly hallucinating, became very abusive and belligerent. Doctors say all of this a dead giveaway Wallace was on drugs. To make matters worse, Wallace had his driver's license revoked and the car had no insurance. But good news for this busy street corner, no one was hurt.
It could have been awful.
Yeah, it certainly could have been. That was Peyton Yeager reporting. Police, on that note, very thankful that those nearby businesses sent in so many witness videos because officers there don't have body cameras. Wallace is no stranger to those charges. He pled no contest back in 2013 to driving under the influence of drugs. Also this morning, OHP needs your help solving a deadly crash from over the weekend. This happened around 7 Sunday morning on Highway 7, just west of Sulphur. The Highway Patrol says they found a Chevrolet Equinox flipped over. The driver survived the crash. However, Amber Stevens from Sulphur was killed. Investigators believe the pair were at Lake Arbuckle Saturday night. If you know anything that can help, give OHP a call at the number there on your screen. Updating breaking news now. 3 children called 911 when their house caught fire. It started about 1:30 yesterday afternoon near Northeast 20th and MLK. We're told all 3 kids, thankfully, made it out of the home safely. Firefighters say smoke was pouring out of the attic. They're still looking into what caused the fire, but we do know, thankfully, no one was hurt. An Oklahoma man found guilty in a sex trafficking case involving students at Edmond Santa Fe High School. Jermaine Coulter, arrested early last year. Coulter and his girlfriend Elizabeth Andrade were accused of trying to recruit students for prostitution. Monday, a jury found Coulter guilty of child sex trafficking and conspiracy to sex trafficking a child. So far, his sentencing date has not been set. Andrade pleaded guilty to sex trafficking of a child back in May. She's also awaiting sentencing as well. An Oklahoma teen facing years in prison for attacking a disabled veteran. Garden shears, a pellet gun, knives, and a ladder are just some of the items Oklahoma City police say the teen used to beat his neighbor. It was early Sunday morning around 3 when Chase Duggar's grandmother called Tommy Smith for help. She told him her grandson was destroying the house while Duggar's 3-month-old baby was inside. When Smith got there, he tried to calm Duggar down.
Next thing I know, chairs are flying and the ladders are flying and the shears were flying, and I just was at that point trying to survive.
Bryan County deputies say Duggar shot at Smith with a pellet gun, threw knives at him, and hit him over the head with a ladder. But somehow Smith managed to pin him to the ground despite being on oxygen and having congestive heart failure. Police think Duggar may have been drunk and high when he went on that attack. Duggar is facing up to 13 years in prison if convicted. A person busted trying to bring gin into a work release center for inmates. The Department of Corrections posted this picture on Twitter yesterday. They say an alert officer noticed someone jumping the fence at Clara Waters Community Correction Center. That's on I-35 between Britton and Hefner. A DOC says whoever brought the alcohol could face felony charges. However, they did not say whether anyone was arrested in that case. A Michigan judge determined 4 teens will be sentenced as adults for their role in a deadly rock-throwing incident back in 2017. 5 teenagers threw a 6-pound rock off an overpass, killing Kenneth White. This happened in October of 2017. One of the teens is 19 and is being tried as an adult. There was an agreement with prosecutors that 4 of the teens would plead guilty to manslaughter if they were tried as juveniles. So lawyers for the teens felt that the ruling was unfair. Judge Joseph Farah said in court Wednesday that the teens bragged about the incident on Snapchat.
51 times the letters LOL, LMAO, or ha-ha appear in the messages, and many after it was learned that they had killed somebody.
Farah also said the teens were out to hurt someone based upon the size of the objects thrown. The 4 suspects will be sentenced as adults on August 21st. This morning, more reaction to ICE agents being stationed at the Oklahoma County Jail back here at home. Oklahoma County Sheriff's officials say they've been working closely with ICE for years now. Since 2015, 2 ICE agents have shared a desk in the booking area of the jail. It helps the county identify people as they are coming into the facility. They're required by state and federal law to notify ICE if an inmate doesn't have proper documentation. Opponents fear there's a potential for ICE agents to overstep those boundaries, though.
One of the biggest issues with criminal justice reform is processing people as quickly as possible. So this was a way to address that.
There is more concern that people are being brought to the jail for the purpose of ICE getting a hold of them just because they are undocumented.
Jail officials say they don't pay ICE agents and have no federal inmates held in their facility. Marijuana and banking. The Senate Committee on Banking, Housing and Urban Affairs taking on the issue of state laws versus federal laws. Now, here in Oklahoma, medical marijuana, of course, is legal, but since the drug is currently illegal on a federal level, banks are not allowed to provide any services. 2 U.S. senators and bank representatives spoke about the need for change.
I've heard from dozens of people who are operating perfectly legal businesses who have been forced to deal entirely in cash or risk having business and personal bank accounts or lines of credit cut off.
On the tax side, access to the banking system would increase the efficiency of tax collections and improve the financial transparency of the cannabis industry.
The Secure and Fair Enforcement Banking Act would allow banks to work with the cannabis industry. Some think it could pass since it just deals with banking and not legalizing pot. However, aside from the committee chairman, none of the Republican committee members attended the hearing. Well, switching gears now, we have the 12
to educating and serving children.
We have the 12 finalists for Oklahoma's next Teacher of the Year. That was announced yesterday during a ceremony at Southmore High School. All finalists were named Teachers of the Year for their own school districts, then selected by a panel of educators lawmakers, business leaders, and nonprofit organizations. The finalists come from all parts of the state, as far west as Clinton and as far northeast as Grove. A number of those teachers from right here in the metro. The 2020 Teacher of the Year will be named September 17th. You can see the full list of finalists and what they do in the classroom at KFOR.com. Scooters soon coming to the city of Edmond. The city council has given the thumbs up to Lime scooters, at least for now. The agreement at this point is for 1 year only. We're told the details of the deal still need to be ironed out, but both sides are set to meet over the upcoming weeks, to work out the details, including where the scooters will be placed and when they will be made available. Well, switching gears, federal officials are now putting a price tag on Oklahoma's destructive spring storms. Whether it was flooding or tornadoes, our state saw its fair share of damage. Already, FEMA has approved nearly $14 million in disaster grants. That money goes to Oklahoma homeowners and renters. FEMA also says it's completed more than 3,600 home inspections across Oklahoma. Coming up after the break right here on News 4, Octavia is a shy girl who loves dancing and shopping and likes to have fun. She's looking for a place to call home. Lacey Lett introduces you to her after the break. Damian Lotus is following our forecast.
Jess, we are this close to setting a new record low temperature here for today, and coming up we're going to talk about just how nice this weather is going to last, or how long this weather is going to last, and also an early look at that weekend forecast. Stay tuned.